Hi, my name is Thais Petroselli, and I'm the Academic Fieldwork Coordinator at Kean University. Part of my job is to find and locate viable fieldwork placements for our students in the program. Fieldwork is divided into two separate sections. You have your Level 1, which is time when our students go out and get really acclimated to the different areas of practice. They get comfortable interacting with clients. It's also directly tied to our practice courses. Typically, our students go out for Level 1 12 times within a semester for 3 separate semesters. Other programs do it a little differently, but the overall goal is to ensure that the students are acclimated and familiar with a series of different populations and clientele. A Level 2 is the more in-depth one. Everyone has to do a Level 2 in order to graduate from an accredited program. Everyone does them at different times depending on the program you go into. At Kean University, we do 2 12-week full-time affiliations at the end of all the academic coursework. Each 12-week affiliation is full-time, and it's a time when the therapist really bridges the gap from academia to being a practicing OT. By the end of their 12-week affiliation, they should be carrying a full caseload and practicing as an OT, just under the guidance of a registered and licensed therapist at the time. Part of my job is also to make sure that the students have the right fit or the right fieldwork challenge to make sure that they bridge from academia to the professional world in an appropriate way. Professor Camacho provided me with some of your questions that you gave me. While I don't have time to answer them all, I will answer as many as I possibly can. Please excuse my voice. I do have a cold and I'm fighting some laryngitis. First question is, for observation hours, it is suggested, is there a list of suggested facilities? There really is not. We do suggest that you do make sure you observe an OT at multiple facilities. Okay, you want to see OT practicing with pediatrics, you want to see an OT practicing with adults, you want to see them in an outpatient, and you want to get as many hours in as possible. We want to make sure that you're exposed to and know what an occupational therapist actually does. Next question. If accepted into the OT program at Kean, will we be required to obtain an internship while we're at the program? You will not be required to obtain them. That's my job, along with the faculty, is to obtain the appropriate fieldwork setting that meets your learning needs, your location, the program needs, fieldwork objectives. However, you will be responsible for going to these fieldwork sites as assigned, acting as a professional, and completing the learning objectives that are assigned. Next question. How will Kean University prepare students to work with clients of lower socioeconomic status? Will Kean University teach the occupational therapy students to work around budget constraints, prepare students and professionals to reach broader populations, and outreach to families around Medicare and Medicaid? The answer to that is yes to all those. Part of our mission as a department is to make sure that we teach you and educate you about underserved populations, populations that may need OT, populations that aren't always reached by OT. We try to, with our fieldwork, provide a broad spectrum from every socioeconomic walk of life. And also, many of our sites have Medicare and Medicaid as the primary payer source. So you will be, by the end of the program, intimately knowledgeable of how to bill and how to practice under Medicare and Medicaid regulations. It goes into so much more than just finding and treating these clients, but also knowing how to document for Medicare and Medicaid, how to bill Medicare and Medicaid, what your clients allowed under Medicare and Medicaid. It's a very complex issue, and you will be educated on that during your time at Kean. Next question. Once you are in a master's program, no matter what level, can you attend the AOTA conference as a member of SOTA, or is it only reserved for year 2 students or just the delegates from Kean? The answer to that is anyone can actually attend AOTA. You will have to pay for it. If you're a member of AOTA, a student member, I do believe there's a discounted fees, but you are welcome to attend AOTA, and we encourage our students to attend AOTA as soon as they possibly can. It's a great place to meet and greet professionals, a great place to learn more about the profession, maybe to find other students to network with. So if you're interested, I highly encourage you to go to AOTA. If you're looking to do something locally, we do have an NJOTA that happens every year in October. Next question. How did you become interested in your field? I've actually been interested in OT since I was 16. I kind of was a high school student who didn't know what to do. I had some babysitting experiences with children with special needs, so I knew I wanted to work with persons with different abilities. A friend of mine actually went to OT school 2 years ahead of me, and it kind of piqued my interest. It was at that point that I did some observation hours in the school district I was attending school in. And I also did some work at the local nursing home, and I became really interested in how OT was integrating with the community, and it kind of went from there. I went into school thinking I was going to work with pediatrics, came out of school knowing I loved mental health. Since then, I've worked in mental health, adults, home care, and pediatrics, so that's the wonderful thing about our field, and I'm so glad I picked it. Okay, for those applicants who are initially not accepted into the OT program, what job do you suggest for them while they are waiting to reapply? That's a really good question. As always, I encourage everyone to do something they love to do. If you're applying to OT school, chances are that you want to work with people, so I highly suggest you find a job where you're working with people. Some of our students have been rehab techs in the past. Some of them have been recreation assistants in the past. Some people have worked in nursing homes, hospitals, schools. Do something you love and something that you can learn to interact with people and really observe their behavior and learn about the many occupations that people have out there. Thank you for your time, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to all your questions. They were all really great, and I hope you have a great class. Thank you.